Director, I continue to, be glad that you're able to speak and show real determination about what you envision for the department in its future and the direction you want to take it in. And I understand the desire to, well, let's look forward, we're going to do great stuff in the future and not dwell on the past, but we have a responsibility, not just us in the legislature, but I think the administration too, to not ignore what's happened in the past, particularly when it's decades-long problems. As you identified the last time you spoke to us, how can we be reassured that we're not going to go down these paths again, or that we're actually going to make real progress in the future? And what's, to myself, and I believe to my co-chair here, as we've spoken before this, I hope you don't mind me summarizing, but what's particularly upsetting to us after our last hearing, where you spoke articulately then too about your vision for the future and improving things, is that when this report comes out and tells us that we've wasted not just $3 billion, but close to $10 billion, that the press releases from the department and the letter that we received can really be boiled down to a few quick quotes, which are, look how much fraud we're stopping now. We paid out money that wasn't ours anyway. Other states did a really bad job and maybe worse than us. So we're doing great and we deserve a pat on the back. And to receive that kind of messaging from the department in the midst of this being rolled out and in the papers and everything all over the state, headlines saying $9 billion paid out inaccurately, to have press releases that instead say, we deserve a pat on the back because it could have been worse and it wasn't our money anyway, does not reassure us that the department is putting on a new direction, does not reassure us that anything has changed in the culture. It's really disturbing and very frustrating. And one of the things that has long plagued this department and all the forms and paperwork and our constituents who call us, who are checking wrong boxes and messing things up and having to correct it, is the choice of language. It's the choice the department uses, the double negatives that are on forms and things like that. And you can turn here to your PowerPoint and with intentional misrepresentation. So you have a heading that says intentional misrepresentations, but then in the definition it says the claimant appeared to be misrepresenting. So which one is it? We don't even know for sure what we're talking about because the heading is confusing with the definition. We are paging through this, left with pages that say, oh, there's significant overlap, so don't confuse anything. Well, what is the overlap? Where's the definitive numbers that show us, is the overlap tiny? Is it big and significant? We don't have that defined for us. And so continue to be incredibly hopeful with your leadership that we're going to solve these problems. And yet, if we can't get a straight up, humble, eat crow response from the department when an independent audit, multiple independent audits now come out and say, you really screwed up bad, it's really difficult to believe that we're setting a new tone and direction.